Good morning and happy Friday. So we are on part 5. We have uh, done Do You Know Your Opponent? We have talked about trauma. We have talked about forgiveness. And now we are going to talk about we talked about sex before marriage. And now we're going to talk about number 5, which is generational curses. If you have not caught the last 4 parts, you can go back and watch them. But today will be generational curses. And when I'm talking about generational curses, I am not speaking about a certain race that has curses or certain people or anything like that. When I'm talking about generational curses, I'm talking about generational sin. And what I mean by generational sin is I'll give you an example. On both sides of my family, there are multiple family members, that have had drug addictions or alcohol addictions or gambling addictions, and that's one of the generational curses that I have noticed in my family, as well as there's a generational curse in my family of incest and molestation. On both sides, I have heard of I know of different people who have been molested. I know of different incest situations. And so that's a generational curse. That is something that is brought in from trauma. Usually with incest and and molestation, it usually has happened to, a child by an adult, but then that child starts to take on that behavior and then they start doing it. And then it just starts snowballing. So also in my family, there is practicing the occult. Witchcraft has been in my family, so that's another generational sin. It doesn't necessarily hit everyone, but it did hit me. And at an early age, I had really weird abilities. I could, I knew things. I could talk to people without actually talking to them, and I knew people's thoughts, which was odd. And as I got older, I started practicing actual rituals and spells. And I didn't, nobody taught me. I didn't get a book, necessarily. And I didn't teach myself. I didn't train under someone. I just knew how to do it, like plain and simple. But these are different types of generational curses that can occur, as well as illness. Like, do you have in your family, has there been, a great great grandfather, a great grandfather, a grandfather, a dad, and all at the, by the age of 45, they all had heart attacks? Generational sin. We have to remember that through sin comes all kinds of different issues, because as I said in the first video, knowing your opponent, he doesn't care how you die. So whether he can get you through addiction, he can get you through sexual sin and you die of AIDS, he can get you, through, or you go to jail and die because, I don't know, he doesn't care. He really does not care. And so through, whether it's disease, jail, crazy, accidents that weren't supposed to happen, as long as he gets you where he wants you before you have the chance to accept Jesus Christ into your life. That's the goal. So the good news is that when you're dealing with generational sin and generational curses, same thing. There is a way out. It's not that, you're doomed for life. You actually have the ability to break the curse and not continue to pass it on. And breaking that curse consists of accepting Jesus into your life and changing your life. As you do that, you're literally going to break the curses off of you. But there's more than just those. Those are the examples that I'm giving right now, because these subjects that I'm talking on are they're so vast, but there's no way I could put all the information into a video that's 5 minutes long. So stay tuned for part 6.